Now let us continue with the reading and writing. In the previous class we have discussed about the failures of the name node, and also we discussed about the what is the writing process and reading process. Now we are going to discuss about reading while writing. In general, in any operating system, if a file is in write mode, it cannot be read by some other users. But here it is not like that in the HDFS. Even a writer is writing a file, the reader can read other part of the file. That is the speciality of the HDFS. Now let us see here, I have a file with 3 blocks. Block 1, block 2, block 3. Now these blocks are already written. The block 1, it is in red color. The block 1, it is already there in the data node 1, 3 and 4. These are the replicas. And block 2 is already available in the data node 2, 4 and 5. And block 3, it is in the blue color. It is still in writing. Still the pipeline is established. So see here the pipeline. To write the data, it will create a pipeline for every block. Block 1 and block 2 are completed, so there is no pipeline, but still there is the lease for the writer client, and the pipeline is still there. So it is still writing. At the same time, if any other user want to read the file, then he can read the other reader client that can read the data from the completed blocks. So it can read the data from the first block and the second block also. Only it cannot read the block which is still in writing. So that even the data is in progress, the operation is in progress, still the read client can read the data from the same file. So this is read while writing. And another thing is rack awareness. So see here, we have one data node and a number of the data nodes and the number of data nodes and the single name node. In this, how can we connect these nodes? Actually, we cannot connect all the data nodes to the name node by using a single router or single hub. We cannot connect everyone. So we have to connect some of the data nodes to one router and some other data nodes to some other router, and they can be connected to the name node. So that router is called here the rack. We can consider that as the rack. Rack 1 and rack 2. So see here, these 3 nodes are connected to rack 1 and these 3 nodes are connected to rack 2 and they are connected to the name node. Now this is the rack maintenance of the HDFS cluster. In this maintenance, there are some rules. Actually, what are the rules and why should we use these rules? Let us say, for example, actually the cluster means it is not in a single room or single building. It may be spreaded over the world, meaning that one data node may be available in the Japan and another data node may be available in India, another data node may be available in Germany. Like this, the data nodes are spreaded over the world and name node may be also available somewhere. So in this case, some data nodes may be nearby, meaning that in India, let us say for example 3 nodes are available, they are connected to the same router, they comes under the same rack, and 3 nodes are in Germany, so these 3 are connected to the same rack, so that there are some rules also framed for rack. That is, first rule is no data node contains more than one replica of any block. If you take block 1, it should not be stored more than one replica in any of the data node. And another rule is no rack contains more than 2 replicas of the same block. These are the 2 rules, default rules. Of course, if you want, you can modify them and you can change it, update it. Now let us see the example. File 1 is there and there are 3 blocks for the file 1. They are already stored like this. You can easily identify that there are some violations of the rules. Here you can observe that in this case, here in the data node 3, the block 2 the block 2 replicas, two block 2 replicas are there in the data node 3. So it is the first rule violation, and second rule violation is here. The rack 2 is having block 3 three replicas. See here, these are the three replicas are there. So here this node, this replica is violating the rule, and this replica is also violating the rule. So if you swap these two, if this block 2 is stored here and this block 3 is stored here, then it is satisfying both the rules. So this is the rack awareness concept. Now actually, as a summary, here we have discussed about the HDFS architecture, and we have discussed about the name node, data node, handling the failures, how to handle the failures of the data node and the name node, and we discussed about the writing of the data, reading of the data, and also the rack awareness. All these concepts are covered. We can discuss in the next session.